Hey guys, welcome to today's class. Have fun.
Good morning, students. My name is Millennial Jessie Brown, and I am an English teacher. My goal today is to assist you who are getting ready for the WAEC examinations. We know that there's no formal education happening now, but that does not mean that we shouldn't get ready. When things get back to normal, the exams come immediately. So we want to be ready, we want to be prepared. For English, there are certain aspects that you will be tested on. You'll be tested on your comprehension, you'll be tested on grammar, you'll be tested on creative writing, you'll be tested on your knowledge of phonetics and phonology. You'll also be tested on grammar. So these are the aspects on which you'll be tested. Comprehension, we already know what comprehension is. I am assuming we know, but if we do not remember, I'm going to explain. On the comprehension test, you are given a text or a passage and you read it, you're required to read it and answer questions on it. There are certain scores that are associated with how well you answer the questions or how correct your answers are. On the comprehension as well, you have summary. Summary is very, very fun, very, very easy. And when you're asked to summarize, you're basically asked to choose the main point or pick the main point of a passage. Sometimes they could say summarize in 3 sentences the importance of education according to the text. You're not asked to write the text, you're just asked to choose the main points. You know how people say go straight to the point? That's what summary is all about. You're just asked to choose the main points and highlight them or write them. So comprehension is very important. You have to be able to read and understand. You also have to be able to present your own thoughts as articulately, as correctly, as interesting as you can. You'll be tested on your grammar. We know that grammar refers to the rules of a language. I hope you know that grammar does not exist only in English. Every language, as far as it is spoken, as far as it is understood, as far as it is written, communicated in any way, has grammar. So you'll be tested on the grammar of English, the rules of speaking in English. Some people do not know all the rules of grammar. That's why we have things like broken English. We have languages like broken English, so you'll be tested on your use of grammar, how you create sentences, the words, your knowledge of vocabulary, what words should fit into this text. Sometimes they give a question like, Ada dashed to school last week, and your options could include A, went, B, go, C, going, and you're asked to pick the right one. The right one is obviously Ada went to school last week, Thursday. So you'll be tested on your knowledge of past, present tense, knowledge of the parts of speech, all of that. I find English to be very interesting. I try as much as possible to enjoy myself when I am going through those questions. That is one thing I think that motivates me to try as much as possible to always do good and better. You'll be tested on creative writing. You already know what creative writing is. Your ability to create and to write from your imagination. In creative writing, you're not copying from anybody's text. You're not rewriting what anybody else has written in the past. You're coming up with it, with what you're writing. It is your own. It belongs to you. It is true that when we write creatively, sometimes we refer to things that have happened in real life to help with our writing. But the main thing is that you are writing it from your imagination. Creative writing, you could come across things like letter writing, article writing, essay writing, so many types of writing, argumentative essays, descriptive essay, expository essay, and so much more. Your spellings will be checked, your understanding of structure. I hope you know that every piece of writing has a structure, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. You'll be checked on that. You'll also be checked on your punctuation marks. Some people know how to use the most popular punctuation marks, which are the full stop, the question mark, the exclamation, and they may not really know how to use the other ones, like the semicolon, the colon. You'll be required to know all of those so that um, you can write properly. And everything you write has to be very well presented so that you can get a perfect score or an almost perfect score. You will be tested on your knowledge of phonetics and phonology. You will be required to know sounds, the phonetic symbols, and this is usually complicated, especially when students haven't learned the symbols from maybe their JSS1, you know. But we're going to go through all of those. I promise you that it is very easy. For those of you who know it, kudos, keep practicing and get even better. So we're briefly discussing creative writing. So many students feel very sad and hurt when they pour their hearts into their essays and then do not make a very good grade. They wonder why. Today, I'm going to take you through the potholes the students run into and why you may not be getting a good grade. If you're getting an excellent grade, you have to keep reading and practicing so that you can get better. Some errors that we commit are spelling errors, punctuation errors, size errors, verbosity, illegibility, and writing without an outline. I'm going to discuss them one by one so you can think about it and see where you need to make improvements. Spelling errors. There's so many tricky words in English. It is such a pain. There's so many tricky words. How do you learn these tricky words? How do you become conversant with spelling so that you do not hurt your grade? You may be very good at creating an outline and all of that, but if you're not spelling correctly, you're definitely going to lose points in your writing. The key to learning how to spell tricky words is to study tricky words. It sounds very strange. It may sound very strange to you that people sit back and just read words and just study words, but it happens. That is the way to get better. Nobody knows how to spell all the words in the world. Nobody. So you have to practice. You have to practice because tricky words will trick you into losing points. You just have to study. If you go online, you see them spelling bee words, you see words with tricky spellings, words with EI, words with double T, words with French words and English, you know. English is made up of so many languages, and that is why it seems impossible to know how to spell all of them, but you have to practice. It's just like a math problem. You may not be very good at solving, but practicing will make you better. Maybe not perfect, but better. So we need to study the words. There's no way to learn the words. There's no easier way than to study. 2 words a day go a long way. Most of us know the words, we do not know how to spell properly. 2 words a day will go a long way. Ensure that spelling is not causing you to lose marks. Some of us do not punctuate properly. We've already talked about punctuation. Where to put a semicolon, where to put a hyphen, where to put a dash. Like I said with spelling, there's no short way. You have to practice, you have to learn. The information exists in the minds of your teachers, the information exists online. There's nothing you need to know that you can't find. When you put a comma in the wrong spot, or you write without punctuating correctly, you lose meaning, right? You lose meaning and you also lose your points. So you need to practice using punctuation marks correctly. Where to use a comma, where to use a full stop, how to write abbreviations properly. All of these can make or mar our creative writing. Some of us have the content problem, the too little content problem. As older students ready to go to university or students ready to move on to senior secondary school, you're expected to be very articulate. You're expected to be articulate. An articulate person shouldn't suffer from writing too little content. If you're asked to write an essay and you write 50 words or you write at most 100 words, what you have given is too little content. 250 words. That is the standard for WAEC especially. We are going to learn how to create content when we get to that part. There's always something to write. The next problem we have is verbosity. Verbosity. When an examiner picks up your work and feels that you are the type to be verbose in your writing, it could become a little irritating to the person. So, the saying, Go straight to the point should always be at the forefront of your mind. You don't want to rigmarole, go round and round and round in circles just to convey one information. Go straight to the point. Do not be verbose. As much as you're going straight to the point, ensure that you are adequately exploring all the aspects of what you're saying so that you don't say, oh, because I'm not supposed to be verbose, I'm not going to present all the information required. Remember summary? You can present your required information in simple, straightforward expressions. I always tell students to use simpler sentences because it leaves less room for problems. When you start using long-winded sentences, you could make errors, you could make punctuation errors, you could make spelling errors, you could make structural errors, grammatical errors, all of that. So as much as you can, reduce the amount of words you use to explain things. Another problem we have is illegibility. Our handwriting can make or mar us. Your handwriting has to be top notch. Everybody has a distinct style of writing. Some people write the letters to look like mini dancers. Some people write in block format. Some people write straight, skinny letters. As far as you can ensure that it is legible, I don't have a problem. The examiners have so many papers they're going through. You want your writing to be as beautiful as possible so that they have the patience to read it correctly. If you do not write in a good handwriting, you would lose marks. You can write beautiful things, but nobody gets to read them because your handwriting puts them off. So if you have a handwriting problem, it is very easy to correct. It just requires some discipline. Practice every day, and you see, your handwriting will get better. I promise you it will. Another problem we have is writing without an outline. Writing without an outline. Writing without an outline can lead you to just having a work that is all over the place. An outline is the first plan you make for when you want to write. Oh, I want to write an essay about my mother. What am I going to say in the essay? What will paragraph 1 say? What will paragraph 2 say? What will paragraph 3, 4, and 5 say? Your outline is that plan. Everybody has an outline inside of them. Do you know what that is? Your skeleton. Without your skeleton, will just be a flabby mess. So, your outline is very important. The outline is like the skeleton of your work. Nothing exists without a plan. Nothing exists without an outline. So your writing shouldn't. You can't be writing an essay about your mother, and next thing you know, you're talking about your mother's friend who lives in Abuja. You can't write an essay about cooking and cooking your favorite meal. Say your favorite meal is pounded yam and white soup. I'm talking about the soup, and then you start talking about how some people prefer beans to your favorite soup. No, you have to stay on track. The outline will keep you in check. The outline is like a parent, keeps you in check. Another problem we have is the misplacement of formal and informal expressions. There's some essays or there's some writings in which you're not necessarily punished for using informal expressions, but there's some where formal expressions are required. Formal expressions are those expressions that you use for serious writings. For example, a formal letter. In a formal letter, you can't tell um, the manager of a company or whoever you're writing the formal letter to that you were late for the interview because you needed to go pee. That doesn't work. So some actions, some things don't work in certain situations. I can't be dressed like this and then I tell my neighbor I work in a bank. I can't be dressed like this on a Monday morning to go to my job at the bank because at the bank you're required to dress formally. When you're writing, there's some expressions you're not allowed to use in your essays. What's up? How you day? That's pigeon. I see it in letters. I see it in essays. I'm gonna. It's a word, but it's an informal expression of I am going to. So let's watch it. We don't want to use informal expressions when we're required to use formal expressions. That could put off your examiner completely and cause you to lose marks. You also have to understand the structure of writing. Some people do not paragraph their work. Some people write without having titles. Some people write without an adequate conclusion or an adequate introduction. These are some of the problems that we encounter when we write. Or these are some of the mistakes that we make when we write. So think about it. What could yours be? And how do you begin to correct it? You can correct the problem of verbosity by reading and expanding your vocabulary so that you don't have to use too many words to explain a concept. Writing without an outline can simply be corrected by learning how to create an outline. We're going to learn that in our next class. I've already talked about spelling and how we can correct our spelling errors by studying words. Illegibility can be corrected by practicing to write properly, neatly. Too little content can be corrected by asking yourself questions about whatever you're writing. We'll get to that part and I'll help you through it. Formal and informal expressions can be correct. Do you know that most of the errors we miss most of the errors we make because we do not read our work. After writing, we just submit. We don't read our work. In our next class, when we get to actually discussing a particular type of writing, we would write together and then read our work for error and see how we can get all those marks so that we can score an A in English. Thank you very much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the class. Stay safe, keep reading, and best wishes to you and your family.
I hope the class was interesting. If you have questions, please drop them in the comment section or send us an email. We will love to help you further. See you in the next class.